7 in 10 Americans think reparations is a bad idea. So that maybe gives you a clue as to why the Democrat governor of Maryland, who wants to be the president someday, I can only assume, would align with the majority of people in the country. That being said, it'll be really fascinating to see how Democrats across the country decide they are going to put this issue either to bed or give it more fire. It remains to be seen. Here to join us to talk about that and so much more is Chef Andrew Gruel, who is a friend of the show and new to the show, and Antonio Sabato Jr. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Chef Gruel, I want to start with you here. So the overwhelming majority of people in the United States don't think African Americans or former enslaved deserve reparations, so much so that even in California, a Berkeley poll showed that 60% of people in the lib of the most lib states is like, yeah, that's a bad idea. Do you think it's a hill that they're going to continue to push and continue to die on, or is it something that they're going to recognize, hey, this is not a winning issue, and some of your more moderate libs, especially the ones running for president, are going to be like, yeah, we're going to back off of this? What do you think is going to happen?
No, they're going to double down. I mean, you're implying that there's a level of common sense here, and we know that there's not. It's minority rule, right? So the worse these issues poll, the more the left doubles down on it. And they do that because they want to basically uproot any sense of normalcy or congruency of thought. When people agree on things, that actually angers the left. So what they'll do is that they'll take this one back to the drawing board and they'll try and insert some level of craziness to it to make it even that much more one-sided, and then they'll traipse it back out. And if you don't, kind of stand behind that craziness, well, then you are no longer a deputy of their religion. I guarantee you that's how this is going to go down. So this is going to be pitched as, we're not vetoing it because everybody is against it, but we need to rework it, right? We need to kind of figure it out so that the reparations will be even larger and there'll be that much more equity as part of this push.
Yeah, speaking of larger, Antonio, you remember in California, which so many of us are all too familiar with, the commission to study reparations recommended that the state give older Black Americans about $1.2 million. Now, if they would have followed through with that, it would have cost several hundreds of billion dollars, maybe even $1 trillion, which is more than the state's budget to begin with. California even thinks this is a bad idea. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, there's no such thing as African Americans. We're all Americans. I don't have any slaves. I don't think anybody here, excuse me, has any slaves or has ever had any slaves. So we got to get that out of the equation whatsoever, completely. There's no African Americans. I'm Italian, actually. I was born in Rome, Italy. So I actually came here legally. So I got nothing to do with this. And I became an American citizen legally. But going back to what you're talking about, California is gone. That's why I left that state a long time ago. And I feel bad for all the Californians, especially the Republicans who are living there going, how do we live with these people? They steal elections. They bring these kinds of things. It's always about racial and color and gender and all this other BS. Listen, at the end of the day, there's no slaves. Everybody's American here, okay? And people on the left should actually take that as an insult when they bring these things up. I mean, they devour the humanity of people and they just put them in this in this sheep thing, like nobody can stand up for themselves and go, this is ridiculous. You guys are making money on this, taxpayers, more stuff with the media. It's a waste of time. We should be worrying about more important things, and we should be worrying about this country. I mean, look, the war in Ukraine is about to be over. Things are happening. My gas prices in Florida are less than $3, which is less than the last 5 years put together. So now we have a president who actually cares and loves our nation. So we should focus on that. I really don't care what the Democrats do because they're actually not Democrats anymore. They're just crazy. So when you're dealing with crazy people, you don't want to deal with them. It's like screaming kids, right? They want their candy all the time. And if they don't get it, they'll burn the towns. They'll go after you. I already know all that. And I can deal with it because you just let them scream at each other and you just worry about yourself and getting your life back in order and take care of your family. Worry about God, keep Jesus first, and put our country first as well.